Golf is built on hierarchy. Rankings tell us who rules the sport and who is supposed to stay in line. But rookies don't always follow the rules. Sometimes, a player steps onto the biggest stage with zero scars, no baggage, and enough belief to challenge the man on top. Here are the spectacular rookies who gave a tough time to the world's number 1. Ben Curtis. Ben Curtis wasn't supposed to be in the story at Royal Street, George's. The headlines were pre-written. Tiger Woods was chasing another claret jug, and the rest of the field was filler. Curtis was ranked 396th in the world and had never won anything on tour. A rookie with no name recognition, no aura, and no expectations. Tiger set the tone early in the tournament by holding a birdie putt from 30 feet on day one. The crowd swarmed around him. Curtis trailed far back in obscurity. But golf tournaments are long, and majors have a way of punishing mistakes. Woods, for all his brilliance, kept leaking shots in the English wind. Curtis didn't. By Sunday, it became surreal. Curtis walked to the 18th tee holding a share of the lead, while Tiger, the number 1, was chasing from behind. The rookie played steady, finding the fairway and the green. Woods pressed, missed chances, and fell short. Curtis won the Open by a single shot. The shockwaves were immediate. A rookie nobody had heard of lifted the claret jug, while the most dominant golfer alive looked on. Curtis never turned into a consistent star, but he pulled off something almost mythical, beating Tiger Woods in a major while still a rookie. That kind of upset lives forever. 2. Keegan Bradley. Luke Donald doesn't get enough credit for how dominant he was in 2011. He wasn't long, but he was precise, the most consistent short-game player in the world. He owned the number 1 ranking with a style that squeezed mistakes out of everyone else. Most rookies fell apart trying to keep up with that. Keegan Bradley wasn't built to follow. He came into the WGC Bridgestone with raw length, quirky routines, and almost reckless aggression. While Donald played chess, Bradley played street ball. The contrast couldn't have been sharper. Bradley refused to be intimidated. He attacked pins, pulled off birdies under pressure, and never looked at the leaderboard as if Donald's name carried more weight than his own. By the weekend, the rookie was outscoring the world number, 1 shot for shot. It wasn't just a one-day flash. He sustained it for 4 rounds and walked away ahead. A few weeks later, Bradley captured the PGA Championship as a rookie, but the moment he truly introduced himself to the sport was when he humbled Donald in that WGC event. It was the rare kind of win where people said, "This kid isn't scared of anyone." 3. Justin Rose. Justin Rose wasn't even a professional yet. At 17 years old, he showed up at Royal Birkdale as an amateur with little more than raw talent and a fearless streak. Nobody expected much. Tiger Woods, already a major winner and climbing toward his peak, was the attraction. Rose was a sideshow. Then the golf course decided to play tricks. The wind tore through Birkdale, big names stumbled. Woods fought to stay in contention, but never caught rhythm. Rose, unbelievably, thrived. He rolled in putts with the calm of a veteran, played recovery shots like a magician, and seemed completely unbothered by the chaos around him. By Sunday, he was outscoring Woods, climbing the board, and pulling crowds with him. On the 72nd hole, Rose pitched in from the rough, tossed his club into the air, and leapt like a kid who had just touched the sun. Tiger finished behind him. A teenager, still technically a rookie to the sport's professional stage, had beaten the world number 1 head-to-head. It didn't spark instant dominance. Rose's career dipped before it soared again. But that single week was unforgettable. The image of a 17-year-old outplaying. Tiger Woods is the kind of memory golf never lets go of. 4. Min Woo Lee. Min Woo Lee walked into the 2025 Houston Open as a rookie looking for a foothold. By Sunday, he was staring down the toughest test imaginable, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, charging with a blistering 63. Most rookies crumble when the best player alive starts sprinting. Lee didn't. He held his ground with calm swings, steady putts, and just enough composure to keep the lead intact. Scheffler tied for second with Gary Woodland, but Lee never surrendered. The rookie closed it out by a single shot, claiming his first PGA Tour title against the sport's most dominant figure. 1 week can define a career, and for Lee, Houston was that week, a rookie toppling number 1 under full pressure. 5. Robert McIntyre. Robert McIntyre doesn't fit the mold of a rookie giant killer. He's not loud. He doesn't carry a brand. He's a lefty Scot with grit, patience, and an edge sharpened on links courses. That's not supposed to scare the number. One player in the world. At the 2023 Ryder Cup in Rome, he drew Scottie Scheffler in singles. Scheffler had turned golf into a machine. Tee to green brilliance, unshakable rhythm, and the calm of a chess master. The matchup looked one-sided, but McIntyre played like a man who had nothing to lose. He launched fearless drives, knocked irons close, and drained putts with a look that said he didn't care about rankings. Scheffler, unusually, looked uncomfortable. The rookie kept pressing, and as the match wore on, the balance shifted. By the closing stretch, McIntyre was the one dictating pace. He closed it out with steel, putting Europe a step closer to winning the cup. The point itself mattered. But the story was bigger. A Ryder Cup rookie had just beaten the most dominant golfer alive. For McIntyre, it was the career-defining memory. For Scheffler, it was proof that even his game wasn't immune to being toppled by someone with no experience on that stage. Don't miss more stories like this. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share with every golf fan you know. 6 Ye Yang. Tiger Woods never lost when leading a major after 54 holes. That stat was gospel, repeated every time he teed it up on a Sunday with the lead. Opponents wilted before they even reached the back nine. That's what made the 2009 PGA Championship at Hazeltine so outrageous. Ye Yang wasn't young in age, but in the world of major contention, he was an absolute rookie. He had never been in this arena before. No one believed he'd last more than a handful of holes against Woods. The script was supposed to be a coronation for Tiger. Instead, Yang punched back. He chipped in for eagle on the 14th hole, a shot that rattled Woods and flipped the match. Then came the 18th. Yang pulled a 3-iron from 210 yards and launched it sky-high, landing it just feet from the pin. The crowd gasped. Tiger stared, stunned. Yang tapped in for birdie, slammed the door, and handed Woods his first-ever Sunday major loss with the lead. The upset was historic. A player with no experience in that crucible had toppled the world number. 1 head-to-head. Yang didn't just beat Tiger. He broke an aura that had looked untouchable. 7. Sergio Garcia. It felt like a movie script. The brash Spanish teenager against the unstoppable American powerhouse. Woods was already number 1 and collecting majors like trading cards. Garcia, just 19, had barely gotten his feet wet as a professional. Nobody gave him a chance to stand up to Tiger in a major. What followed became legend. Garcia played shots nobody else dared attempt, most famously the slashing 6-iron from behind a tree on the 16th hole, where he sprinted up the fairway to see the result. The crowd roared. The rookie was giving Tiger a fight. Woods ended up winning the PGA Championship by a shot, but Garcia didn't back down. Across stretches of that week, he outplayed the number. 1, showing up on the same stage and refusing to be intimidated. That duel gave Garcia instant stardom. He may not have taken the trophy, but as a rookie, he proved he could trade blows with Woods in his prime, and actually beat him in patches. For a teenager to do that against Tiger was almost unthinkable. It was the first crack in the idea that Woods could roll over anyone without resistance. 8. Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods turned pro in 1996, golf expected buzz, not dominance. Greg Norman was the world number 1. The Shark, a global superstar with trophies and swagger. Woods was just 20, making his 5th professional start. The Las Vegas Invitational was supposed to be another learning stop for a rookie. Instead, Tiger turned it into a launch pad. He pounded fairways, stuck approaches, and rolled putts with a calm that didn't look like inexperience. Norman was in the same field, but Tiger outscored him and marched straight into a playoff with Davis Love III. On the first extra hole, Woods stared down a birdie putt and buried it. Game over. A rookie had just claimed his first PGA Tour title, outplaying Norman along the way. It was more than a win. It was the moment the golf world realized the kid wasn't waiting to grow into the spotlight. He was already taking it. 9. Viktor Hovland. Viktor Hovland entered the 2019 U.S. Open at Pebble Beach as an amateur fresh off an NCAA title. Brooks Koepka was the world number 1 and the most terrifying major player alive, having won 4 of his last 8 majors. On paper, This wasn't a contest. But Pebble had other plans. Hovland played without fear, flushing irons and attacking flags. Koepka did his usual thing, pounding fairways and bullying the course. Yet when the final scores were tallied, the rookie amateur actually outplayed him. Hovland finished as low amateur and posted the best 72-hole score by an amateur in US Open history, better than Koepka's number. It didn't come with a trophy, but it was a head-to-head victory that turned heads across golf. A college kid had walked into one of the toughest majors ever staged and beaten the world's best player on the same leaderboard. That week lit the fuse on Hovland's professional career, which quickly exploded into wins, Ryder Cups, and big paydays. Rookies toppling the world's best never gets old, and there are plenty more wild golf stories ahead. Stay tuned by subscribing, hit that like button, and share this video with friends who love the game as much as you do.